Shalom, Yashrala. This your brother Dawada, coming back at you with this here truth again. First and foremost, I want to give all praise unto YAHAWAH, BAHASHIM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHIM, RACHAQUADASH. Double honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love for you, Aki, on pushing this truth and sincerity on the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. So I want to jump onto this here topic that's going around right now, dealing with this here Facebook banning, all right, which all has to do, basically with the men of the Lord. I want to read into two different articles. One of these articles here, you know what I'm saying? Because like I always say with a lot of these other things, all these things are really aimed at the men of the Lord, the Israelites, all right? And I'll actually read a little bit about that in the second article. But nevertheless, you have to understand Esau's not going to directly come out against the Israelites, all right? Not until the very, very end, all right? But what he's trying to do is create all the conditions for you to hate all these different conditions. So once they, fully present the Israelites unto you, all right, you already hate all the different conditions that we so-called stand for, all right? For a slight example, you hear the term going around toxic masculinity, all right? Well, when you really break that down, what are you talking about? Being a real man's man, they have things talking about man spreading because you got your legs spread, you know what I'm saying? You're not crossing your legs like a woman or whatever, whatnot, But all these things are so-called toxic masculinity, according to the world. But when you really dig deeper into this is going into what? Being a real man. And what's a real man? Basically a man of the Lord, all right? Because why? We standing up for righteousness and chanting down and exposing wickedness. You see what I'm saying? Standing for what's right and putting to an end that those things that are wicked, standing for YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI. That's ultimately a real man, a manly thing to do because what? You can say, oh, a real man's going to stand up and provide for his family, so on and so forth. Yeah, but when you're working for the Most High, that's the ultimate end all be all. All right. You see what I'm saying? So anything that you can so-called claim to be a man. All right. Well, I got a job and I work. Well, how about doing some work for the Most High? You see what I'm saying? This is a way greater task than working for anybody else. You see what I'm saying? Or taking care of your family. I take care of my family and my household. Yeah, I take care of those that I love. That's, that's near and dear to me. That's my family and my household. But how much more of my brethren that I might not even know? You see what I'm saying? Not only am I feeding, they at my household, my family and my household, but I'm also out here feeding my brethren that I don't even know of out there in the highways and the byways. You see what I'm saying? So being a stand-up man for the YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI is actually being, a real man in this here society. So what? They're going to attack that instead of saying, oh, we coming against the men of the Lord. No, we're going to stand up against toxic masculinity, all these different things and stuff like that. Oh, well, you hear him talking about different articles. Oh, how unhealthy it might be to have a beard on your face. They're not going to really come out and, what they're trying to do is predictively program your ass to start hating men with beards. So when you see, or if you have a man or your son or your brother or somebody, your husband has a beard, you be programmed. Oh, you should get rid of that. It causes disease and sicknesses, even though men have had beards since the dawn of ages. You see what I'm saying? But these are all things, like I said, they're not going to directly come out, against us like that. All right. So I'm going to read a couple of these here articles and show you about some of the things that's standing out, how it's all aimed at us. It says, all he ever do. This one says, all he ever do was tell the truth. Snoop enraged at Facebook's Farrakhan ban, right? Now, what do we call this? So this thing that we, one of the names we put on this thing is the truth, right? We pushing the truth. We about the truth because why? Going into the scriptures, it is the truth. All right. It is what it is, Now, Farrakhan, all right, really is a mirror image to exactly what we doing, but just he's, he the imitation version of it. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, now this is an abominable food, but you have crab meat and you got imitation crab meat. The imitation crab meat will look like the crab, might smell like the crab, you know what I'm saying? It might even taste like the damn crab, but at the end all be all, it's not real crab meat. It's not the real deal. You see what I'm saying? It's the knockoff version of it. All right. But nevertheless, this is like what Farrakhan is pretty much in comparison to us, First and foremost, the ways we're the same, telling us that, hey, look, the so-called white man is our enemy. This ain't a place for us. We separate from them. But yet and still, he's mixing these different doctrines and stuff like that, mixing all kind of things up, talking about they're the nation of Islam, but yet they predominantly read out the Bible. You see what I'm saying? They pick up their book and their shield, but then yet they always talking about things that's pertaining to the Bible, further confusing our people. All right. Farrakhan isn't really telling you the truth. If he's not telling, I've heard him try to break down that you the Israelites, but it was backwards. He was telling you that you Esau and the so-called white man is Jacob, but giving you the right stories, but just fucking up the names. But as you can understand, it wasn't given unto him to give you the 100% truth. So, when he's talking about all he ever did was tell the truth, you know what I'm saying? Not knowing how this was all, put out there. You know, Snoop might have just happened to chose those words, but hey, it's all being spiritual, because why? We see that this is what's coming down the pipeline for us. What are we out here doing? You know, what do we use our platform for? You know, we don't have our YouTube channel. Like on my channel, man, I ain't got no shit that's advertising none of my shit that I'm trying to be doing or whatever, whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Like, just a bunch of random shit, right? Let's say, you know, I was a fucking, let's say, an all-star basketball player, or I got some crazy trick shots, or whatever, man. You know, our channels ain't for all of that. It's for what? To do one thing and one thing only, push out this here truth. All right. That's the only thing that, you know what I'm saying, that you can come about, you know, you can come around our page to get information on is the truth. All right. So this is what we out here pushing forth. We pushing forth the truth. All right. So it says all he ever did was tell the truth. This is all we doing with our channels. All right. But what? They so-called shut Farrakhan down because of that. All right. So it says Asian rap star and pot enthusiast Snoop Dogg has marched Gat first into Facebook censorship debate. Funny how they would demonize him like that. Gat first into Facebook censorship debate, slamming the platform for banning controversial black nationalist Louis Farrakhan. All right. All he ever do was tell the truth, Snoop told his 32 million Instagram followers in a video posted on Thursday. I stand behind him. Ban me, motherfucker, because I'm gonna keep posting his shit. Right. So now Snoop is pretty much in the right spirit for the wrong person. All right. Because why? You know what I'm saying? You know, and not to say that, you know, our viewers, they don't actually do this, because like I said, and I said it in a couple of my videos, you know, I know that there are some viewers, and if this is you, you know, you hearing this video and this, you actually the ones doing this, taking my videos and reposting them on other sites. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we don't give a damn about that, because we want this here word to go out. You see what I'm saying? So we don't really care about that. We, you know, hey, if you want to do that, that's on you. You know what I'm saying? If you want to find a way to help, you got a big following, take the videos and show them off like that. All right. But nevertheless, and like I said, there are people that actually do that to our videos. However, you have, you know, Snoop Dogg being a 2/3, you know what I'm saying, in this 2/3 mind state, you know what I mean? As a prominent leader towards our people, you know, he got 32 million Instagram followers. You see what I'm saying? And the way that they can able to really move, you know what I'm saying? These type of people like the Snoop Dogs, the Jay-Z's or whatever, whatnot. In reality, you know what I'm saying? Depending on our people, if they say certain things, they can get shit done. Oh no, we ain't fucking with this restaurant no more. We ain't fucking with this store no more. With the Gucci situation, you know what I'm saying? Like, that shouldn't have had to have no so-called black leaders or icons tell you not to buy that shit no more. But nevertheless, you see the point. You know, oh, we boycotting this. We ain't fucking with it no more. All right. But nevertheless, what about our people standing up for what we think is righteous? Now you standing up for Farrakhan. Farrakhan not telling you who you really are according to the Bible. All right. Farrakhan over there fleecing the flock. All right. And, you know, and speaking in Farrakhan's defense, now I don't watch Farrakhan like that to know what the fuck he talking about all the damn time or no shit like that. But however, you know, I would think that, you know, and like I said, I'm not into all of that shit, so I couldn't really tell you too much about their whole situation. But I would think that things would be a lot worse back in the times when you had Malcolm X out there. You see what I'm saying? Because things was a lot more heated. The climate of America was a little different. Nowadays, you know what I'm saying? You got, like, if you really don't know who the fuck Farrakhan is, you be like literally ignorant to the whole fact that there's a whole religion or a group of so-called black people that have this religion. All right. You wouldn't even know about that shit. So nevertheless, I say that to say this, they ain't really popping off. You know what I'm saying? Like how people would think that they are. Yeah, they super deep in numbers, but they ain't really doing no shit. Again, I don't really know because I ain't really into all that. But nevertheless, it's Farrakhan and them, right? But it says, the Gin and Juice gangster rapper then encouraged his followers to keep posting content of the Nation of Islam leader. All right. It says, show some love to a real brother, Snoop said. Put up some Minister Farrakhan footage and show what he's really talking about. Facebook can't ban us all. And like I said, man, look, what if our people had this spirit towards us? You know what I'm saying? When they coming down, cracking down on us like this, you know, why don't y'all stand up and put videos up defending us, you know? But y'all will get on there because y'all don't want to be embarrassed, being noticed, being grouped together with us some kind of way. Oh, you follow them Israelites? Oh, you with GMS? You know, you tell people shit like that. Oh, you an Israelite? Oh yeah, you follow the camps? Oh, you a GMS? Oh, brother. You know, people don't want to be associated with certain things like that. So what? You know, they don't want to be associated with the Israelite movement and things like that. But nevertheless, what if these types of people was like pushing forth for us like that? You know what I'm saying? But they not. They're part of, you know, they the wicked. They going forth and them pushing forth, how do I say, this here wand to keep your ass asleep. You know what I'm saying? That Nation of Islam shit is not saving you. It's not showing you who you are. It's not giving you the Father's name. It's not giving you the Son's name. It's not telling you about salvation. They just point out that the so-called white man is the damn devil. He your enemy. All right? That's the only thing that they really telling you, you know, that I know of that they telling you. You know what I'm saying? I know they're not telling you Israelites. You see what I'm saying? They're not telling you the truth and sincerity. All right? They telling you that, what's his name? Muhammad Farad is the damn prophet. All right. Not even the Muhammad the Arabs be talking about. They talking about Muhammad Farad. All right. The dude, whatever his name was, the dude that was before Malcolm X. All right. But nevertheless, you see them saying they're not even telling you who you are. All right. They're not bringing you to this truth. They're not giving you the breakdowns to the scripture where the prophecies are all at. All right. They still using this here marred book. All right. But nevertheless, it says Farrakhan was banned from Facebook and Instagram. Actually, I'm not going to read that. I'm going to read, cause I'm going to get that in the next article. It says Facebook referred to the figures banned as extremists and dangerous. All right. Which, not that I know of. I mean, I ain't never really heard in the news talking about Farrakhan them and kill somebody or whatever, whatnot, or especially with they massive amounts of numbers. You ain't really seeing them. If anything, they trying to keep peace and stuff like that. Like, that dude, Nipsey Hussle, his funeral and stuff, they had the Nation of Islam out there, keeping order and peace and stuff like that. So in fact, you know what I'm saying? The so-called white man probably should be thanking them in certain situations. Be like, yo, y'all ain't really got to send y'all police out there to try to police all them damn jakes out there. You know what I'm saying? In a big ass gang center and stuff like that. You got other jakes out there policing them, and everything wound up, as far as I know, everything wound up, going good, you know? But nevertheless, it says Farrakhan has been a prominent voice of the in the African American community for decades, even meeting with former President Obama in 2005. The militant preacher has courted controversy throughout his career over anti-Semitic statements for allegedly chanting death to America while on a visit to Iran last year. Now, fuck the anti-Semitic statements, because that's some bullshit to begin with. Like, first of all, you know what I'm saying? Well, I believe either way, whatever the fuck Farrakhan's race is, whether he be a so-called black man or a so-called white man, either way, he's Shemitic. So that's a retarded point. But nevertheless, you know, going into this, chanting death to America, you know, now this is something that, you know what I mean, that, you got to be careful with, because, you know, they know how to take things and twist it all up, this and that, you know. But nevertheless, you know, like I said, this is also for you men of the Lord that's out here putting out these here videos, you know, how do I say, be wise be wise in how do I say, be wise in this here water we in. All right. You don't want to, you know, it's unwise to just run out in the middle of the battlefield, guns blazing and stuff like that. You know, you'd be better off kind of like picking a good position and looking for the enemy and picking them off one by one. But if you just run out there, you see them saying everybody going to wind up shooting at you all at once. So you don't want to go out there doing certain things that's going to pretty much blow up the spot and make the spot super hot, especially in times like this when you know what they trying to do. This is the crackdown that they trying to get at, is the men of the Lord. So you don't want to give them no kind of gas or no fuel for the fire to sit there and set that bitch off on your ass. All right. You don't want to be out there like on the highways and the byways screaming death to America, this and that, because why? People who either ain't in the know or they don't understand what the fuck is going on. You know what I'm saying? They thinking that you want to go out there and do something to America, like you finna go fuck America up. Like, no, that's not the image or the ideology that we trying to push. Even though that's not what we talking about, we don't even want somebody to mistake that's what we talking about. Because, you know, for you men that's, they go on the highways and the byways, you already know, man, you be on the highways and the byways and, you know, there's cars passing by you in front of you and they be in traffic and people be rolling their windows down and videotaping you. You know, you might not never know, you know what I'm saying, what they gonna do and how they gonna use that video. You don't know if they taking that video because it's edifying to them, they want to re-upload it to edify other people, or they gonna take that video to clown you with, like, look at what these niggas doing. So, you know what I'm saying? You see, you know what I'm saying? Just be mindful of how you carry yourself in certain ways. You know what I'm saying? You preaching about, let's say you preaching about faith and a group of so-called white people walk by, you know what I'm saying? Or a group of women walk by. You don't need to be calling them out and, you know, just because they happen to walk by, you don't need to change your subject up just to call them out, antagonizing these people, giving them the fuel for the fire to sit there to start calling these things on. You need to be blameless in front of these people. All right. So when these people come out, the only thing that they can blame you for is basically bullshit and lies. They telling you, oh, you trying, no, bro, that's not what we doing. All right. But nevertheless, you don't want to give them no kind of, fuel for the fire. You don't want to give them no kind of, how do I say, no, you don't want to give them, you know, no kind of space to try to, insert any type of, bullshit or any type of lies on you. All right. Like, you know, screaming death to America, whatever, whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Because why? They'll come out and be like, oh, you guys are you Muslims or whatever, whatnot. You know what I'm saying? They'll see us with the Hebrew writing and then they'll be like, oh, you guys are writing in Arabic or whatever. Even though they don't understand it. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be the ones like, oh, I seen some guys out there. They was speaking in a different language. They was chanting real loud in a different language. I seen something that looks like, you know how these stupid ass Americans gonna look, you know, they don't know what the fuck real Hebrew look like. So they gonna be like, oh, I seen some guys out there. If you've been on the highways and the byways, you seen people who clearly seen us walk up there. They'll walk up with the Bible. We had the Bible in our hand, reading out the Bible, quoting like, yo, give me John this and give me the book of Romans. And they'd be like, so you guys Muslims? You know what I'm saying? They can clearly hear what the fuck we saying, but yet and still they just equate it with that. So don't give them that space and that opportunity, you know? Also with naming, some of your videos and stuff like that, you know, there's certain things you can name your videos or whatever, whatnot. And you already know what it is when you're doing certain things like that, that could bring heat upon your situation. All right. This whole thing is supposed to be what? This is supposed to be the statement that's supposed to be said about us. All we ever wanted to do, all we ever did was tell the truth. All right. We not out there trying to, insinuate, crime or raise people up to try to make them, you know, go all out doing all kind of crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? It's not wise to be around a bunch of people giving these people the fuel for the fire, because this is ultimately what they want to do, is to get us off the streets. All right. To shut us down, to stop this here truth from going out, because it's fucking up their whole business. Like in the scriptures where they're talking about they was making idols to Diana. All right. But then the minute the Lord was out there preaching, it was fucking up their money. So with us waking up, you know, the biggest threat to America is the so-called, you could just talk about the so-called Negroes. It's like there's a video about that. Thomason, the biggest threat to America is just basically you so-called Negroes. All right. I believe the number is what? 30 to 40, like 35 to 45 million so-called Negroes here in America. Right. And that's very damaging and very dangerous, not because of the fact that we could, like, it is dangerous that if we did all rise up and we all started fighting. Listen, let's just take this smaller number, 30 million. You see what I'm saying? 30 million people fighting a war. They already on the turf here. They already know the area here. All right. 30 million. You see, you talking about China and them, you know, they got a 2 million man army. You think that's a big army? All the so-called Negroes here would be even bigger army. But that's not what we're talking about as far as a threat. They're not worried about that because they know that we ain't going to try to fight their ass like that. That's not even in us like that. You see what I'm saying? But they fear us because why? 30 to 45 million Americans, no matter what race they are, but just so-called black people. If you got 30 to 45 million Americans, like in Snoop Dogg, he got 32 million Instagram followers. What if 32 million Instagram followers left Instagram? You see what I'm saying? What if 32 million Americans or 32 million people that live here in America that's in the system, talking about the so-called Negroes, stop shopping at Walmart, stop doing whatever, you know what I'm saying? Stop going to these churches, stop giving this here money. You see what I'm saying? Then it would really fuck up a lot of different things. So that's why, you know, and we're not even talking about the other tribes. You put us all in together, man. All right, we could really do some damage here. So this is why the so-called white man want to keep us asleep, because it's keeping this here system afloat. All right, he want to keep us keep us pretty much blinded to this here truth, because when we wake up, what, like the scriptures say, come out of her, my people, we stop supporting this here system. This is what's making this here system crumble and fall. We're not supporting this bullshit no more. Over the years, you're seeing more and more people stop participating in Christmas and all these different things like that, which is hurting these Christmas sales. All right, so on and so forth and on down the line. But nevertheless, let me grab this here other part of this here article I want to read. This one here goes a lot more in depth. All right. This one says Facebook bans Alex Jones and others in a form of modern day book burning. All right. Now, going back to book burning, what books was they burning? The scriptures. All right. Hey, it's all in all. They telling you, you know, you got to be able to spiritually discern these certain things, man. You got to spiritually discern these certain things that they talking about, because why? You have to be able to see yourself in all these things. You got to be able to understand what they talking about. You got these three dudes on front on this picture. I believe this dude's name is like Milo, some shit, some crazy shit. But I believe this is a homosexual dude, or some dude that kind of like is very flamboyant or some shit like that just be causing a lot of chaos. Well, not really. He don't cause a lot of chaos. I guess the shit that he say get people stirred up. So he go to these campuses, these so-called safe zones, and all these damn sheltered kids. They get all like up in a bunch over this dude coming to they spots. All right. Then you got Alex Jones, who talks about what they would call conspiracies, or just exposing the so-called white man and the evil shit that he be doing. Then you got Farrakhan over here that's on a so-called religious tip, exposing the so-called white man as being a devil. All right. And you know what I'm saying? Something being special about you so-called, well, he tell you the so-called Negroes. All right. But nevertheless, let's just retranslate these here people. The first guy is kind of dealing with like homosexuality and shit like that, right? But when we go out there tell you about the same shit, you see what I'm saying? They want to stop him for the same reason they stopping us. Alex Jones talking about conspiracies and certain things like that. When we go in and we tell you, like right now, this here lesson is telling you about how they trying to shut down the Facebook and all these different things for certain reasons. All right. This is part of the things that we tell you the same thing too. Farrakhan on a religious tip. All right. Going into the truth, breaking down the truth. All right. So you can see an image of us and all these different people that they coming down with. All right. And they telling you that this is just let me just read it. It says, when social media platforms simultaneously banned Alex Jones last summer, I wrote, the decision was merely a warning shot to dissidents. You see what I'm saying? This is just the beginning half. They trying to figure out how the people going to really react to this shit when they really do this. All right. Because ultimately they want to shut down the internet from the men of the Lord from posting this here truth. All right. And they don't want to, you know what I'm saying? It could really expose everything if they do this shit prematurely and they just shut down the Israelites and they ban the Israelites and all the people like, oh, hold on. You know what I'm saying? Just like how right now, I don't subscribe to none of these motherfuckers. Alex Jones, Farrakhan, and this other dude over here. Now, I didn't actually, like I said, I've seen videos on all three of these dudes, but nevertheless, I do not agree with none of these dudes, right? You see what I'm saying? However, the fact of the matter is, in reality, you don't like these motherfuckers and what they saying, don't watch the shit. You see what I'm saying? Like, I can't stand that screaming heavy metal rock and roll or this new modern day rap. So guess what? I don't listen to this shit. I don't go over there and try to boycott the shit because it's some bullshit. Nah, I just don't listen to this shit. But nevertheless, you see where this is all, like they say, a warning shot. This is just an example. All right. It says Facebook citing company policies on hate organizations have now banned InfoWars, Alex Jones, Milo Yiannopoulos, that's that guy's name, Louis Farrakhan, among others. If it was not bad enough, now merely even posting a link to InfoWars content could get you into trouble. It's talking about other people sharing this here content. But again, the focus isn't really on the Alex Jones and so on and so forth, because all these people are pretty much all set up anyway. All right, for these certain reasons. They was all set up to be fall guys anyway, patsies or whatever you want to call them. They was all set up for these here reasons anyway, because ultimately it's for the men of the Lord. Like I said, if you came out prematurely with this and just like, we want to ban you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans for preaching that y'all are the Israelites and the true name of the Most High is Yahawah and his son's name is YAHAWASHI, and that the so-called white man, according to the Bible, is Esau, Edom, the damn devil. If they came out and said it like that, then everybody was like, wait a minute, let's see, because we know the government always be fucking over niggas and they always be lying on some shit. Let us go and do our own investigation. Way more people will wake up to the truth that way, all right? So the so-called white man is going around right now, testing the water right now. He banning everybody else that kind of fit a so-called shadow profile of us, all right, that pretty much shadows us, but it's not directly like us, to get you to hate those conditions first and foremost. Once you get tired of these certain conditions, you wouldn't like nothing like it. All right, it's like if you've been in a damn hot-ass classroom or a hot-ass building, so long, you just hate being in somewhere with no AC. Next time, you was tired of being in a hot-ass apartment, right? I can't stand being in a hot-ass apartment. And then finally you get into an apartment with AC, you be like, I ain't never going back to nothing like that. But now you in a car where the AC don't work and it's reminding you of that apartment. Oh, hell no, we ain't riding in this shit. We got to get us a car with AC because, I remember what it was like being in my apartment with no AC. Fuck that. I ain't finna ride in this car with no AC. Fuck is wrong with you? That I already know. You know what I'm saying? So instead of, Alex Jones and all them being in the house with no AC, you didn't got used to that. So now when you get into a car with no AC, being the Israelites, you already see, oh, y'all ain't got no AC? Fuck that. We ain't even getting in that car because we already know what it's like. We don't want to be around no shit like that. All right. So this is the same thing that they're doing right now. All right. It says when I criticized an earlier ban against Jones, I prefaced it by saying that I was not a fan, lest anyone assume my words were tantamount to an endorsement of his content or opinions. Hey, and that's the same thing that we saying, that we here are saying as well with this whole situation too. We not in league or in agreements or in accord with none of these people and none of the shit that they talking about. All right. We don't subscribe to these people. However, we can see the shadow profile of ourselves into these people, what they really doing, because the men of the Lord, the scriptures say, blessed are your eyes will see the things that you see, man. We seeing things that everybody else can't see. And this is why we giving our people these here warnings. All right. Giving our people warnings that, look, hey, the time is closing, man. You need to be able to learn how to measure the top diligently and discern these certain things, man. Apostle Tahar put out that decree to no more new members in GMS. All right. Because why? You're getting a lot of bug outs coming in. All right. A lot of just random people just putting their GMS on their name or whatnot, and not following the things that we do in certain type of ways and preaching and teaching all kind of different things, which leads to what? Confusion. All right. You got men coming in, putting GMS on their name or whatever, whatnot, and teaching at the, first of all, I seen a video of a dude in a damn Walmart opening up a lesson in front of some damn jeans wearing a damn towel. All right. And then you got, just all fucked up. You know what I'm saying? But then that leads to confusion because somebody else could be like, oh yeah, I follow GMS, or you follow this dude, and then you all off, but then they finally come across GMS, and then it's like, oh, wait a minute. This is contradictory to what y'all got. Some of y'all teaching this and some of y'all teaching that. Nah, man, that's not a part of the deal. All right. But nevertheless, this is the same thing that's going on with these other people, man. You see these certain things that's going on, but what they all, at the end all be all, it all, how do I say, pertain to the men of the Lord. The end all be all, you can measure the time diligently and see what the writing on the wall is telling you, what the Spirit is telling you. All right, we coming to an end to this. Like I said, Apostle Tahar closed the doors as of now for joining GMS camps. All right, and then you seeing the famine of the word as we going through right now. All these different things being shut down. All right, Jacob's trouble being stirred up. All these different things being stirred up. So we know now. You know what I'm saying? Like we learned the parable of the fig tree. All right, or we looking at this this woman in these labor pains. All right. Says, but there should be no need for such semi-apologetic disclaimer. This is straight up censorship, and it should be condemned regardless of anyone's personal feelings towards the target. The initial ban on Jones was an attempt to test the waters to see how people might react to popular figures being wiped from social media existence. Now, that's the thing. Take out Alex Jones. Fuck Alex Jones. Because again, this is not about them. Again, they are creating shadow profiles for us. All right. It says the initial ban on Jones was an attempt to test the waters. All right. So you could take him out. He was just a puppet, deployed. Like I said, they was all set up for these reasons. All right. They was going to build them up and take them down in the face of the people. You know what I'm saying? It's like going up and knocking out the biggest nigga in the whole block. So everybody else that's weaker than him, like, we seen what you done did to them. We ain't even finna try the shit no more. All right. It says the initial ban on Alex Jones was an attempt to test the waters to see how people might react to a popular figure being wiped from social media. When establishment journalists whooped and cheered in celebration, Facebook, and the rest were emboldened. Consequently, we are now sliding down the slippery slope of internet censorship at frightening quick pace. And they are still cheering. Most news reports on the news bans have framed it positively as Facebook taking action and finally doing the right thing. What is doing the right thing? It's not like on Facebook they force you to sit here and watch Farrakhan and Alex Jones and all these other motherfuckers like that in YouTube, man. Like I said, you wouldn't even know about these motherfuckers unless somebody told you about these people. You know what I'm saying? Some people like, you watch Alex Jones? Who the fuck is Alex Jones? You know what I'm saying? You know about this Milo Yiannopoulos guy or whatever? I don't know who the fuck that is. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't even know about none of these people. All right. Because why? They don't even subscribe to that. They don't even watch all of that. All right. Just like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not into a lot of different shit. So I couldn't even tell you, like I'm not even into sports. I couldn't even tell you what fucking sports season it is right now, man. You see what I'm saying? That's just not something that I'm into right now. You see what I'm saying? So, hey, I don't want to ban it because I don't give a fuck about the shit. That ain't bothering me. If it's bothering somebody else, turn the shit off. You know what I'm saying? I see some shit that be on TV. Oh, now they probably should be banning this homosexual shit that be on TV, but nevertheless, it be some homosexual shit on TV. I be seeing like, my relatives and shit be watching that shit. I just either leave the room or don't watch. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see this shit. Hey, fuck that. I just don't watch the shit, It says, it's undeniable that a huge platform like Facebook and Twitter are liberal organizations, liberal in the sense that they are committed to protecting the non-liberal establishment and are far more sympathetic to Democrats than Republic. Conservatives are rightly up in arms in the latest expression of those allegiances. But if they really care about the internet censorship and want to make the strongest possible argument against it, conservatives will acknowledge that this is actually not just a far left, right, or not just a left or right issue. It says Facebook has taken extremely worrying steps against anti-establishment leftists, anti-war activists, and socialists on the platform too. All right, and another so-called effort to get rid of fake news, it tweaked its algorithm in a way that sent traffic to socialist government accountability and other progressive pages plummeting. All right. So basically they know how to use these algorithms to basically put us into corners and things like that. So people can't find us in truth. You have to understand and ask yourself, why is this such a threat to the establishment? Why do they need to censor us? Why do they need to shut us down? Why do they need to shut us up? All right, because we over there exposing them. If you over here stealing and you getting away with this shit and you making good money off of it, but you got one motherfucker out there crying like, look, this nigga stealing, look, this nigga stealing, look, this nigga stealing. What you gonna want to do? You gonna want to silence that. All right. Or you breaking into motherfuckers' houses, right? You stealing out their houses and you always be hitting licks like this all the time. No problem. But now you done broken into somebody's house with a house alarm. The alarm is going off. One or two things gonna come into your mind. Either A, I need to turn this shit off because this shit is gonna alert everybody to the shit that I'm doing. I don't want to get caught because I'm doing some shit I ain't supposed to be doing. Or B, I just need to leave before I get caught doing some shit I don't need to be doing. At the end all be all, you doing some shit you ain't supposed to be doing and you don't want to get caught. This is why it's a threat unto you. This is why they want to shut us down. All right. Ultimately, it's the will of the Most High. But what? You know, this is why it's a threat to them. Why is it a threat to you? Because you're doing wickedness. You know, you being exposed on all corners. All right. It says conservative agitators like Jones are not the only target. Dissidents in general is the targets. There are plenty more examples to prove it. Like I said, they're not gonna leave that out. That's not where they're gonna end it. You know, that's just the beginning. They're doing that to do what? Ultimately bring this down on the men of the Lord. All right. It says in 2017, journalist Abby Martin, former RT show, which covered issues like fracking, inequality, police brutality, U.S. war crimes, was condemned by U.S. intelligence agencies for fomenting radical dissidents in a report that was lauded endlessly by mainstream news personalities. All right, so they talking about what? That all this here, these news articles is causing radical dissidents, but in reality, all they doing is reporting on your fucking war crimes off of the shit that you doing. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, man, you know, just put yourself in this situation. Jake is like, yo, he done came home and found out that one of his relatives got killed, right? But you don't know who the fuck killed it. You mad, but you don't know who to take it out on. However, you now mad because the same situation happened. Somebody rolled up in your house and killed one of your relatives, but now you got a video camera inside your house and you done videotaped the whole thing. You done found out who the fuck did it. And now you want to go and, you know what I'm saying? Bring them to, you know, to justice. You know what I'm saying? Bring judgment down on them. Right. But now this here person who wound up murdering your relative or whatnot, they mad at the damn cameras and shit because the cameras wind up exposing them for what they doing. Like, no, nigga, if it's not the camera's fault, it's not our fault for pushing judgment upon you. It's your fault for doing the wickedness. You just mad because you got caught now. All right, you can't be mad because you got caught. If you was mad about all this, you wouldn't be rolling up in people's houses, killing them to begin with. You see what I'm saying? You can't be mad at because you got caught. You should be mad at your wicked deeds that you're doing. All right, it's not changing the fact that you still murdered somebody just because the camera caught you on film and reported your ass back. Nah, don't change the fact. The only fact that changed was now that your ass got caught and it's proven that you did it. You can't hide with it no more. All right, and that's what's coming out. Esau's being exposed and he can't hide this no more. So what? It's like him being caught on camera on everything he's doing. It says leftist Venezuelan news websites that stand against Washington's consensus and offer an alternative perspective to the U.S. involvement in Latin America has also been targeted. Facebook temporarily suspended Tesser and Venezuela analysis without cause last year, for example. Twitter also suspended a number of official Venezuelan government and media accounts, a direct effort to meddle in the country's political crisis on behalf of the U.S. government in support of its opposition leader who never was elected, but who was awarded a blue tick verification despite calling for a military coup. Really, America's over here setting up terrorists, trying to overthrow a goddamn country, and they sending weapons over there, and they got what they call hate speech going out on the news, talking about, oh, we got to take out Maduro, and he over here, you lying on these people, you actually over here killing these people, and you setting up terrorists, and you funding terrorists over there, but when people call you out over this shit, even though you admit to it, you call us the damn problem. Oh, we over here spreading hate speech and all kind of spreading dissidents, causing uprising. No, nigga, listen. The uprising would be, again, you done rolled up in somebody's house and killed somebody. The uprising is now the police coming to get your ass because you was caught on camera. You can't be mad at the police from coming to get your ass because they caught your ass committing the crime, nigga. You knew what the crime was. You knew what the time was before you committed the crime. Now it's time to go do the time for the crime you just committed, homie. You can't be pissed off at that, nigga. Grow some balls and take responsibility for the shit you doing. All right? It says, in a corporate system of government, corporate censorship is state censorship. Independent journalist Caitlin Johnstone wrote on Twitter, indeed, as we have seen, these tech companies are exorbitantly linked to the U.S. government. They cause censorship pressure from members of Congress. They partner with U.S. government-funded think tanks to weed out content that goes against the mainstream narratives. going against Esau's narrative. All right, going to Obadiah 1:6, how the things of Esau searched out, because the minute of the Lord, 2 Thessalonians 2:8. All right, the minute of the Lord is revealing him. All right, it says, and all they do under the guise of protection of freedom and democracy. It's no stretch, therefore, to call Facebook a censorship kind of state censorship. All right. There's another paragraph I wanted to read in here too. This is a pretty lengthy article, but let me see. That was one, but that was another one. Give me 1 second. Oh, well, shit. Let me read this here part. It says, yet once Facebook shows willingness to ban some people, it will pressure ban more and more. Where does it end? That's not what I want to read. It's a lot. Oh, right here. Facebook's reasoning and references to hate speech and promoting violence also fall flat when you consider the U.S. government official uses social media to call for military action that would result in mass violence and death on a regular basis. Like I was just saying, man, you got them out there calling for the uprising in Venezuela, them out there calling for uprising in the Middle East, all these different places. All right. It says, and they aren't just promoting it, they're actually doing it. Not only are they calling for it, they actually going over there with bombs and stuff. They talking about, you got the thing with Venezuela going on right now. All right. You had that failed coup attempt just earlier this week. And now they talking about sending in mercenaries. What's that dude named Eric Prince is, the dude who formed Blackwater. All right. He's about to send his, their mercenaries over there. All right. And going in basically, with a military front, you know what I'm saying, and go in and actually cause some real damage. You see what I'm saying? So not only are they calling for these things and inciting hate speech on the media and the news, they actually, following through with acts of terrorism. All right. Just like how these Americans was over here blaming the Russians for meddling in the U.S. elections, but you're doing the same shit over there in Venezuelan elections. All right. Or in a situation with their president. All right. So, it says, when Alex Jones starts going outside and killing people in the mass rampage, come back to me about banning him then. Yeah, other than that, he's just a motherfucker just sitting there just screaming for no damn reason. You know what I'm saying? Really, it's good entertainment for people who like that shit. Nevertheless, let me grab a couple scriptures and we're going to close out. You already know where we're going to get to. Matter of fact, let me this is the book of Psalms, chapter 19. You know what? Because see, I was just going through the spirit on this. Let me grab a different one first. I'll read these three scriptures. This is Revelation 14 and 1. And I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on the Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, having the Father's name written in their foreheads. And I heard a voice from heaven as the voice of many waters, and as the voice of great thunder. And I heard a voice of harpers harping with their harps. And they sung as if it were a new song before the throne and before the four beasts and the elders. And no man could learn that song but the 144,000 which were redeemed from the earth. These are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins. All right. Now, when it's talking about the 144,000, which are the elect, when it says they're not defiled with women, for they are virgins, it's like Farrakhan, right? Farrakhan is telling you basically that you he got you in this religion, the Nation of Islam, which they picking up off of like Islam, you know what I'm saying? They picking up, certain things from Islam, but they having you read out of the Bible a lot. All right. So they marrying these two different ideologies or these two different doctrines together. All right. It's like you're not supposed to have no other God before the Most High. All right. You ain't supposed to be spiritually fornicating and sleeping around with other gods or sleeping around with other philosophies and things like that. This is the truth, the Most High's words. So we're supposed to be following that. All right. And that only. You're not supposed to be mixing, Farrakhan up on the pulpit talking about, Muhammad and this and that and so on and so forth. Now open your Bibles and let's go to this and that. Like, how the fuck are you reading out the Bible the majority of the time, but you're telling these people they Islamic or they the Nation of Islam? You see what I'm saying? That's that, virgins is being that they just directly dealing with just, you got a virgin wife, right? Obviously, she ain't been sleeping around with no other man. Now you sleeping with her now. The only woman the only man she ever slept with is your ass. You see what I'm saying? The only book that we dealing with is what? The Bible. All right. We ain't dealing in these other religions and all these different things. I'm going to take a little bit of this. You know, you have, especially nowadays with these women in this new age shit. Oh, you know, you gotta, you know, with religion, you gotta take a little bit from here and there and here and there and whatever resonate with you. You know, that would be basically a whore. You're going a whoring after these other gods and these other religions. All right. You need to be a virgin, one woman man. Did I say it right? You need to be a one man woman, all right, unto the Lord, all right, with this here scripture. You know, you being the woman, the only person you need to be dealing with is the Lord and the scriptures, all right, not these other religions and these other ideologies and doctrines, all right. You don't be taking the Bible and then going into the Book of the Dead and then the Quran and all that extra stuff, all right, pairing them together. Oh, let me read this here precept in the Bible, and let me go over to the Book of the Dead, and let me go over here to the Buddha and all of that stuff. Nah, man. All right. So it says, these are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins. These are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth. These are redeemed from among men, being the first fruits unto the Most High and to the Lamb. Verse 5 is the point I wanted to get. It says, now going back up to verse 3, it says that no man can learn his song but 144,000. Now going down to verse 5, it says, in their mouth was found no guile, for they were without fault before the throne of the Most High. So in their mouth there was found no guile. They're not coming out to you they're not lying to you about nothing. It's just pure truth, because they speaking what? The words of the Heavenly Father. This is the truth. All right. So going back to Snoop Dogg talking about all he ever did was tell you the truth. No, the scriptures say that only the 144,000, the men of the Lord, the prophets, only they gonna have the 100% truth. They're gonna be the only ones telling you the truth. And like I told you with Farrakhan and them, they telling you, they over here keep picking up the Bible all the damn time, but they can't show you in the Bible. They would also tell you the so-called white man, you know what I'm saying? Oh, this was his book, but yet you reading out of it all the damn time. You don't even understand it. You see what I'm saying? You mixing all these different, you know, you sleeping with two different women. You got the Bible on one side of the bed and you got the Quran on the other side of the bed. You know, you poke a little bit over here, then you poke a little bit over there. Nah, man, hey, you ain't having no threesome like that, man. That's not how it's going down, man. You got to stick it out with your one woman. You're going to just keep, you know what I'm saying, making love to your one woman. Sophia, wisdom, the scriptures, going into the wisdom and knowledge of the Most High. All right. Not with these other ideologies and things like that. All right. So as going into Farrakhan and him, you know, all he does was preach the truth. That's not true. All right. So it says the 144,000. All right. They was going to be preaching. They was going to have a song that no man could learn, but the 144,000, which is the 100% truth. All right. Let me just back that up real quick. What is that? Revelation 5. Revelation 5:1. And I saw on the right hand of him that sat on the throne a book written within, and on the backside sealed with 7 seals, and a strong angel proclaiming with a loud voice, who is worthy to open the book and to loose the seals thereof. And no man in heaven, nor on earth, nor under the earth was able to open the book, neither to look thereupon. And I wept much, because no man was found worthy to open and read the book, neither to look thereupon. So nobody's able to understand and get these here breakdowns of this here scripture. All right. Verse 5. And one of the elders said unto me, weep not. Behold, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, hath prevailed to open the book and to loose the 7 seals. That being YAHAWASHI. YAHAWASHI was the only person to get the understanding and to break down the 100% truth, the 100% truth, end all be all. All right. But nevertheless, he's got the whole breakdown of this here scripture. We just read in Revelation 14 how that the 144,000 was going to be with him. They was going to follow him. All right. And there was no guile in their mouth. All right. They were singing a song that no man could learn. Why couldn't no man learn it? It's the same thing as talking about this here book that was being sealed. All right. So the men of the Lord, they're going to have this 100% truth. All right. Now let me go to the book of Psalms 19, or Psalms 19. It says, to the chief musician, the Psalm of David, the heavens declare the glory of the Most High, the firmament showeth his handiwork. All right. Going into what? That's up there in the space where you have these satellites at. All right. And upon these satellites, you have what? The transmission of different signals and waves and things like that to give you what? The internet. Like I'm going to shoot this here video, upload it on the internet, and people all around the whole planet Earth can sit there and see this here video. You see what I'm saying? It's going throughout the heavens and the firmament. All right. We're on the highways and the byways, and we live streaming our camp. All right. While we sitting there filming live, everybody else around the world can sit there and watch and tune in. You see what I'm saying? And see us, you know, as it's going down. All right. But that's all being done by what? Through the internet. All right. And how's the internet working? You know what I'm saying? Through the satellites up in the air and things like that. These different cell towers and all these different things. All right. It says, to the chief musician, the Psalm of David, the heavens declare the glory of the Most High, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. Day unto day uttereth speech, night unto night showeth knowledge. All right. So just like, you know, when the men of the Lord 24 hours a day, man. We upload videos around the clock, man. We in, the men of the Lord, we're not all concentrated in, let's just say, New York, right? Not on one time zone. First and foremost, in America, you got camps from New York all the way over to California, or like how we like to say down here, from Bay to Bay, from Tampa Bay all the way over to San Francisco Bay. All right. So you got camps and all over America being what? In different time zones, first and foremost. So while we over here uploading over here, and we go to sleep at night, time, you still got different time zones. You know what I'm saying? It might be 3 or 4 o'clock at night over here for us, but it might only be 12 o'clock at night over there for people in California. You see what I'm saying? So they, at an earlier night, they still up putting up videos going around 24 hours a day. Not even to mention that we in all 4 corners of the earth. So what? We in all different land masses, all different continents, all over the planet Earth. So what? There's brothers in different places. Like we got brothers. I know when we going live on the weekends, we got a couple brothers from over there in Europe that be tuning in. You know what I'm saying? We call them from across the pond. You know what I'm saying? They watching us. You know what I mean? Day unto day, night unto night. You know what I'm saying? You got brothers that work and deal on different time schedules than other brothers, where some brothers work, night shifts, some brothers work morning shifts. So what? When their time to shoot videos is at a different time. Some brothers, their time to shoot videos is when they get up early in the morning. Some brothers shoot videos late at night. You see what I'm saying? Because that's their free time to shoot these here videos. But what? And they get uploaded 24 hours a day. So what? You can literally get videos uploaded 24 hours a day around the clock. Not only that, you have the choice to go online on YouTube, right? And you can watch videos. You can watch the video I uploaded 2-3 weeks ago, 4 months ago, last year. You can watch that at any point in time of the day, 24 hours a day. So whatever point in time you want, you could turn this here on and you can get this here knowledge. All right. So it says, verse 2, day unto day uttereth speech, and night unto night showeth knowledge. All right. So like I'm saying, 24 hours a day, man, through this here internet. All right. This here word is going out. All right. Verse 3, there is no speech nor language where their voice is not heard, because it's not just here in America and English is being heard. It's all throughout the 4 corners of the earth. All right. And then you also have some brothers that'll take our videos in other countries that can speak English, that'll either translate, they'll do a voiceover over top of our video, and they'll just basically translate everything that we saying, or they'll just do the subtitles and put subtitles up there. Or like I said, people be viewing and they'll have the subtitles on and it'll be translated for them that way. All right. So even though we speaking in English, don't mean that this same lesson ain't being translated into Chinese or Mandarin or something like that, to where they're over there speaking that. You see what I'm saying? And now this here video being translated, let's say Arabic or something. Cause I got on that YouTube app, right? You can, on the YT Studio app, you can see where your videos are being seen, what countries they being seen at. All right. And about 75% of my videos are being seen here in America, where the other 25% are being seen overseas somewhere. All right. And I ain't been over there to see all that. So this is going right into that, where it says there's no speech nor language where their voice is not heard. All right. Because why? The internet is going out throughout the 4 corners of the earth. All right. Verse 4, their line is going out throughout all the earth. Like I was just saying. Now, when you talk about their line, when the internet first started coming out, you had a company called, and it's still around, called America Online. All right. Well, you talk about people like, man, you need to get offline, or I'm about to go online real quick and look something up. That's a term that we use when we about to get on the internet. All right. And also going into that, the internet, you inside a net, a world wide web is something that's connecting us all together. All right. This is how you get connected to one another, through this here web. You all caught in the same web. All right. So it says their line is going out throughout all the earth. All right. Just like, this here internet line is going out throughout the whole earth. Their words to the end of the world, in them hath he set a tabernacle for the sun. All right. Which is as a bridegroom cometh out of his chambers, and rejoices as a strong man to run a race. His going forth is from the end of the heaven, and his circuits to the end of it. And there's nothing hid from the heat thereof. All right. So really, especially nowadays on the YouTube, this is why they're trying to censor us so bad on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, and all these different places and platforms. Because why? Instead of them using these platforms to keep our people asleep and watching a whole bunch of bullshit and folly and everything like that, because we've been diligently putting out this here word and putting this here truth out, it's flooding the airwaves, and now they can't hide it. They can't stop us, because now you having more and more people tuning in for hours on end. You know what I'm saying? Just think about all the men of the Lord, or you people that's out there trying to get this here truth. You used to probably be watching hours and hours on end on YouTube with just some folly. How to do this, how to do that, twerking videos, music videos, ass shaking shit, how to do this, how to do all kind of folly and bullshit. We used to probably spend hours and hours and hours doing that shit, right? Which was good for them, because your ass is distracted and asleep, and you basically, running up revenue for them just by the ad revenue or whatever, whatnot. All right. So this was perfect for them. You was asleep and they was fleecing you all damn day long. But now you got all these different men. All right. That's using YouTube mainly only to push out this here truth, or to watch videos. So now they seeing like all their traffic is really hitting on to these here scriptures. Now everybody's just going over here. You know, videos are losing views and subscribers are channels are losing subscribers because why? More and more people are coming over to this here truth. You know, you got all these different bug out doctrines that people got out there. Now they all being squashed by this here truth. People losing money, man. It's just like back in Ephesus where they was out there with those little idols for Diana and stuff like that. Now that we telling you ain't supposed to have no shit like that, people is losing money. People losing sight. People are starting to wake up to all this stuff. This is why they trying to cut us. Hey, man, I was just read in an article how it was a warning shot basically, and how they was going to try to see how the people was going to react because they want to basically cover up all the bullshit that they doing. They don't want people to realize the shit that they doing and call them out for all their bullshit. All right. Speaking on that, let me just read this real quick because it'll say it a little better. This was talking about our people, but it's the same, all in all the same. All right. John 3:19. It says, and this is the condemnation, that light is coming to the world. All right. Now, what is, we can go to John 1, but really, let me go to John 1 real quick. John 1:1. In the beginning was the Word. I'm going to read it all verbatim. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The same was in the beginning with God, and all things was made by him. Without him was not anything that was made. In him was life, and the life, it says, in him was life, and the life was the light of men. And the light shineth in darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not. All right, so now, well, let me keep going. Verse 7, the same came for a witness to bear witness of the light, that all men through him might believe. He was not the light, but was sent to bear witness of that light, that was the true light, which lighteth every man that cometh into the world. All right, talking about what? This is basically, let me go back to John 3. It's basically this here knowledge, all right? Like I actually got it in Revelation 14, all right? Where it says, no man could open this here book, save, YAHAWASHI, then he gave it to the 144,000, which is what? This wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, this here truth in this dark place. You got to understand, we in the valley of the shadow of death, man. We over here in Babylon, the land of great confusion. Everything here is confused. Everything is all backwards and upside down and just all fucked up. But what? We in that dark ass, forest, right? But guess what? We got a damn lantern. We can see in the darkness, all right? So we can guide everybody else through the darkness so you're not falling in all these damn holes and traps and getting bit by all kind of shit because you can't see it in the dark, all right? The Lord gave us this here light, which is the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the scriptures, all right? Which is going to guide us through this here darkness, which is in the land of Babylon, the land of confusion, all right? So what? It says this is the condemnation, that light is coming to the world, and men love darkness rather than light because their deeds was evil, all right? So going back into what? You in the damn dark, right? Or I gave the analogy earlier about how somebody ran up into somebody else's house and murdered somebody. You know what I'm saying? Two scenarios like that. One, somebody ran up into somebody's house and murdered somebody, got away with it. You know what I'm saying? The second scenario, the same situation happened. It just so happened this person had a camera in their house and caught it on camera. You know what I'm saying? Now, the person who did the murdering, they mad because they got caught because they had a fucking camera in the house. Like, yo, you can't be mad because you was exposed for doing the wickedness. You mad at the camera for the wrong reason. You should not be doing the killing and shit. You don't need to be doing that. That's wrong. That's going off. You going off with that. But because your deeds was evil, you don't want there to be cameras around to spot the wicked shit that you doing. You don't want to be seen because you doing some fuck shit. All right. You don't want the spotlight to be on your ass because you over there doing some fuck shit. You know you doing some off shit, man. So this is why the so-called white man wants to shut us down off the internet, because why? He know he doing fuck shit. He know he the damn devil. All right. Let me grab Revelation 12:12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down to you having a great wrath, because he knoweth he have but a short time. So the scripture telling us the devil know he got but a short time. So you don't think he gonna pull out all stops, man? You don't think he gonna try to silence us for end all be all? Because if he can silence us and stop this truth from going out, then what? The prophecies will stop. Not to say that this is gonna happen, but nevertheless, and he can't stop us because this is all the will of the Most High. You can't stop that. But hypothetically, in his mind, if he can stop the prophets from prophesying, then he can continue in his rulership. But he know he got but a short time because he can't stop this. So he gonna pull out all the stops as possible and try to cut everything off. Which that's where we're gonna close out. And that was the scripture I was gonna actually bring out. This is Amos chapter 8, verse 11. It says, behold, the days come, saith Yahawah, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor of thirst for water, but of hearing the words of Yahawah. All right. And so now let's go into famine. Famine is normally a shortage of food or water, right? Now, food and water and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? What is that to you, right? It's nourishment. It's to sustain you. It's to build you up, to keep you, you can starve to death and be so, you can be not eating and drinking and your body's so damn weak you can't even function. You know what I'm saying? And then you need to get built back up. So what? You got to eat. You know what I'm saying? You need to be built back up. So the food is your nourishment, your stability, right? However, he says, behold, the days come, saith Yahawah, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor of a thirst for water, but of hearing the word of Yahawah, right? So it's not talking about an actual famine dealing with food, but however, it's the same representation. You got, what does food do to you? It builds you up and nourishes you, right? The scriptures say that a man shouldn't live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of the Lord, right? Also, if he that believeth on me, out of his belly shall flow fountains of living water. All right. So this is all parabolic or metaphoric to the same thing. All right. These here scriptures is going to be your life, man. This is going to give you the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. This is going to be the stability of that time, man. This is going to keep you afloat in those days. All right. Because why? You can actually be without food and starving to death, physically starving to death. Right. But guess what? You know what I'm saying? If you have wisdom, knowledge, and understanding about these here scriptures, you can do what? You'll know how to call on the name of the Lord and ask for deliverance. And then the Lord can deliver you even though you ain't got no food. He can provide for you. All right. But what? If you got food, you can't call on the Lord. You know what I'm saying? When that food run out, then what you going to do? All right. Or if you still got food and somebody try to run up on you and take your food and you ain't got no real protection, then what you going to do about it? All right. So what? The Lord is saying what? You're going to run out of, there's going to be a famine of hearing this here word. All right. And what? The word is going to be the wisdom and stability of that time. So there's people out there, all right, who don't have this here truth that might be watching for entertainment purposes or whatever, whatnot, that's slowly moving towards the plow or whatever, whatnot, or whatever they got to do to get right. You know what I'm saying? But what? You can see the writing on the wall and the things that's going on around you that you know that this ain't going to be here for very long. All right. You're going to be looking for this here word and you're not going to be able to find it. All right. The minute the Lord is slow, like I said, man, or like Apostle Tahar said, he wound up closing the doors of GMS. All right. So you might have had some people that was on the outside, like, yeah, one day, like Jake said in the church, yeah, when I get older, I'm going to go and join the church and give my life to God. Some people be on the sidelines, they just faking the funk or whatever, whatever they doing, and not even saying that you have to be with GMS because, you know what I'm saying? It's not about the acronyms or the letters, but it's about the spirit. All right. That's where it's at, it's the spirit. All right. And the spirit just so happens to be dwelling upon, mainly men amongst great millstone. All right. But nevertheless, you don't want to wind up being caught up out of there and not knowing what's going on and not knowing how to move. All right. Because at the end all be all, the Lord is dealing with his men. The men of the Lord, he has his hedge around. All right. But if you're on a line and just like in the days of Noah, it's going to be just like in the days of Noah. There was probably some people walking around, see Noah building a boat. Yeah, I see that nigga building a boat, but I'm going to keep doing what I'm going to do. And then the last minute, I'm going to just go get on the boat. I used to give Noah some shit here and there. This nigga let me get on the boat. We all good. And then the last minute, the Lord wound up closing the door. It wasn't up to Noah. All right. It was up to the Lord who wound up spiritually closing and sealing that there door. And he was like, that's it. And this is what we're reading about right now. The Lord is about to spiritually close this here door. And we see it all coming to pass back to back to back to back to back to back. So we know what's coming right around the corner. All right. So I'm going to read this, and we're going to close out. It's Amos 8:11. It says, behold, the days come, saith Yahawah power, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor of thirst for water, but of hearing the word of Yahawah. And they shall wander from sea to sea and from north even to east, and they shall run to and fro to seek the word of Yahawah and shall not find it. All right. In that day shall the fair virgins and the young men faint for thirst. All right. So what? In that day, you know what I'm saying? The men that is going to be looking for this here word and that truth. You know what I'm saying? They're going to wind up, they're going to be scouring, looking high and low for this, but they ain't going to be able to find it, Just like, oh, how do I join a GMS camp? Well, it's too late now. You know what I'm saying? You've been watching for so long, this and that, knowing that you had something to do, knowing that you were supposed to get with this, but you just faking the funk, trying to see everything going off. You know what I'm saying? Now the door's being closed. All right. Ultimately, you don't want the door of salvation to be closed on your ass. All right. Because again, when the Lord closes that door and just start bringing out this full on judgment, all right, and he has the last elect member sealed, there's nothing you're going to be able to do then. You can't try to, let me try to put in my works now. Let me go ahead and try to please the Lord now. Let me go try to do something for the Lord now. All right, because you got the men of the Lord that's been on the highways and the byways for so long already pushing this here word, and there's so much fruit that's been reaped from that. All right, so much fruit that's been grown up and everything like that that's pushing forth more fruit. All right. So we at the end of this whole thing. The whole world, I'm going to close out on that. Matthew 24:14. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then the end shall come. That's exactly what you're seeing happening right now, man. Our word has been going, not our word, YAHAWASHI's word has been going out on the four corners of the earth by his men pushing these videos out on the highways and the byways and doing these sit down lessons and uploading them on the internet. The whole world is knowing about it now. All right. You got brethren all waking up all over the whole four corners of the earth in all kinds of different countries. All right. And uploading videos, prophesying the downfall of this here so-called white man in his kingdom. All right. To the point now the so-called white man is trying to ban us, shut us down, writing up laws on how to come down and kill us and everything like that. Hey, sooner or later, it's just going to basically be like, yo, the internet cut off. There's no more of us on there because like they were saying, it's just a warning shot. Next is going to be us. All right. And once they do that, hey, that's going to be it, man. That's going to be the Lord telling us that this is Amos 8:11 taking place, man. The famine of the word coming to place. That means our job is going to be done. The rest of the thing for us to do is just sit back, relax, and just wait on the Lord. You see what I'm saying? But then those people that's out there that's not knowing what's going on. All right. And then at that time, it's going to be way more apparent who the damn enemy was. All right. Or who the enemy is and who was actually righteous. All right. And at that point in time, you're going to realize like, oh, shit, they was telling the truth the whole time. But it's going to be too late to get in on it. All right. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and close out. Lord willing, this here lesson was edifying unto the elect. Until next time, I say call halal Yahawah, Bahashim, YAHAWASHI, Bahashim, Rakakwadash, which means all praises unto the, you know, how you would say the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. But, you know, just saying that the Father's name is Yahawah. His Son's name is YAHAWASHI, Rakakwadash, in the Holy Spirit. All right. So, you know, call halal Yahawah, Bahashim, YAHAWASHI, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. You know, Lord willing, this here lesson was edifying unto the elect. Until next time, I say stay strong and shalom.